In today's world, there's a lot of talk about alpha males, beta males, but lately one type of man has caught everyone's attention, the sigma male. He's not loud, he's not the leader of the pack. He doesn't want attention, praise, or validation. He walks alone. He chooses silence over noise, peace over power, and depth over drama. People often call him mysterious, cold, or even dangerous. But what's the truth? What does it really mean to be a Sigma male? And more importantly, what's the dark side no one talks about? Today we're going deep, because being a Sigma male might look cool on the outside, but on the inside, there are struggles, there are sacrifices, and there's a side most people never see. Let's begin. What is a Sigma male? Really? Before we dive into the dark side, let's understand what a Sigma male really is. A Sigma male is someone who doesn't follow the rules of the social hierarchy. He's not trying to be at the top like the alpha, and he's not following others like the beta. He plays his own game. He makes his own rules. He doesn't care what society thinks. People respect him. Some fear him. Many misunderstand him. He values freedom more than fame, solitude more than status. He's calm, confident, and focused. He thinks deeply, acts with purpose, and never wastes energy on things that don't matter. Sounds powerful, right? And it is. But this lifestyle, this mindset comes with a price. That's what we're here to talk about. Let's start with the most obvious part of the Sigma life, being alone. Sigma males are lone wolves. They enjoy their own company. They don't need others to feel complete. But here's the truth. Even the strongest lone wolf feels lonely sometimes. Yes, solitude brings peace, but too much of it, it can feel like a prison. Sigma males often push people away, not because they hate them, but because they value their space, their time, their peace. But over time, this can lead to isolation, real deep isolation, where there's no one to talk to, no one to lean on, no one who truly understands. The Sigma male suffers in silence. He doesn't complain. He doesn't beg for attention. But that silence, it builds, and one day it becomes a weight on the heart. That's one dark side most people never see. Sigma males are often misunderstood because they're quiet, because they don't fit into the box. People think they're arrogant, or cold, or emotionless. But the truth is, most Sigma males are highly emotional. They just don't show it. They feel everything. They just don't talk about it. They observe. They notice every detail, every shift in energy, every lie behind a smile. But instead of reacting, they stay calm. They keep it inside, and this makes others uncomfortable. Because we live in a world where loud is seen as strong, and silence is seen as weakness, or worse, rudeness. But the Sigma doesn't care. He knows who he is. He doesn't need to explain himself. Still, being misunderstood over and over, it gets tiring. Sometimes he wishes someone could just see him for who he is, without him having to say a word. Here's something people don't realize. When you're always calm, always in control, people start to think you don't need help. They assume you've got it all figured out. But the truth? Sigma males carry a lot of pressure to always be stoic, to never break, to never need anyone. And that pressure? It's heavy. Sometimes the Sigma is screaming on the inside, but no one hears, because on the outside he looks fine. He shows up, he works hard, he stays focused. But behind that cool face is a man who's tired, tired of carrying everything alone, tired of pretending he doesn't feel pain. But asking for help? That feels like weakness. So he stays silent. And that silence? It slowly breaks him down. One of the biggest struggles for Sigma males is love. They don't chase, they don't play games, they want real connection. But in today's world, that's rare. Most people are too busy showing off, too busy chasing likes, too focused on surface level stuff. The Sigma wants depth, honesty, loyalty, someone who understands his soul. But that's hard to find, so what does he do? He stays alone, even when he meets someone good. He hesitates, he pulls back, because he's afraid of losing his freedom, afraid of being hurt, afraid of letting someone in and watching them leave. So he builds walls, tall ones, strong ones, and sometimes he ends up pushing away the very person he needed. That's the painful part. Because deep down, Sigma males want love too. They just don't know how to ask for it. Being a Sigma male means thinking deeply, always. Every action is calculated, every word is weighed, every move is planned. This can be a strength, but it can also be exhausting. The Sigma male's mind never stops. It's always asking, is this worth it? Can I trust this person? What's the deeper meaning here? This overthinking leads to stress, anxiety, even self-doubt. He may look calm on the outside, but inside, it's a battlefield. Thoughts clashing, fears growing, questions with no answers. And because he doesn't share these thoughts, they pile up until he feels like he's drowning in his own mind. Sigma males value independence above all. They don't rely on others. They don't need a crowd to feel strong. But this independence can sometimes feel like isolation. They don't ask for help, even when they need it. They'd rather fail alone than succeed with someone they don't trust. That's powerful, but also risky, because we all need support sometimes, even lone wolves. When you do everything alone, every mistake falls on your shoulders, every failure cuts deeper. And the worst part? No one sees the struggle. People only see the result. They see the success. But not the sleepless nights, the doubts, the pressure. That's the hidden cost of the Sigma mindset. Sigma males often feel like outsiders in school, at work, even in family gatherings. They don't fit in. They don't want to follow trends. They don't laugh at fake jokes. They don't care about gossip or social games. This makes them stand out, but not always in a good way. People think they're weird, too serious, too distant. They might even be judged or avoided. But here's the twist. The Sigma male doesn't want to fit in. He wants to be himself, but still, always being the outsider can hurt. Always being different can make you feel alone, even when you're surrounded by people. That's the part no one talks about. Difficulty finding purpose. Because Sigma males question everything, they often struggle with purpose. They don't want a normal life. They want something meaningful, a job with purpose, a life with depth, a path that feels right. But that kind of clarity takes time, and the journey is full of doubt. While others are settling down, the Sigma male is still searching, still thinking, still exploring. This can make him feel lost, like he's falling behind. Even though he knows he's not meant to follow the crowd, he wants to build something great. But the pressure to figure it all out can feel overwhelming. Sigma males wear emotional armor, thick and strong. They've been hurt before, lied to, used, left behind. So now, they don't let people in easily. They protect their hearts, their time, their energy. But this armor, it doesn't just keep the pain out. It also keeps the love out. And that's the tragedy. They want connection, but they've been burned too many times, so they smile less, trust less, expect less, and slowly, without even realizing it, they start to expect loneliness as their normal. Sigma males have high standards, not just for others, but for themselves. They don't want an average life. They don't want shallow friendships. They don't want fake love. They want something real, something deep, something that makes them feel alive. But because their standards are so high, they're often disappointed. People don't live up to their words. Relationships feel one-sided. Jobs feel meaningless. And the world seems too fake. This constant disappointment can make the Sigma male feel numb, like nothing is ever enough, like he's meant to live in a world that doesn't understand him. And that feeling, it creates distance, emotional walls, a quiet sadness that never fully goes away. Being a Sigma male means doing everything alone, planning your path, solving your problems, fighting your battles. It sounds strong, but over time it leads to burnout. Because humans aren't built to carry everything alone forever. Even the toughest lone wolf needs rest, needs support, needs someone to lean on. But the Sigma male rarely lets anyone in. He says, I'm fine, when he's not. He keeps moving forward even when he's exhausted. He keeps solving problems even when he needs help. And this kind of constant pressure, it slowly wears him down. His energy fades, his passion dims, and suddenly even the things he once loved don't feel exciting anymore. That's what burnout looks like for a Sigma, and it's one of the darkest parts of the journey. Sigma males are confident, but deep down they carry a hidden fear, the fear of failure. Why? Because they don't chase success to impress others. They chase it to prove something to themselves. They've sacrificed so much. They've walked alone. They've rejected comfort, trends, and safety, all for a dream. So if they fail, it feels personal. It feels like all the pain was for nothing. They don't want praise, but they need purpose. So when they hit a wall, when a plan doesn't work, when they feel stuck, it shakes them deeply. But they won't show it. They won't talk about it. They'll just go quiet and try to figure it out alone. Sigma males hate asking for help, not because of ego, but because they've been let down before. They've trusted people, only to be used, ignored, or misunderstood. So now, they'd rather struggle in silence than risk being disappointed again. They say things like, I'll figure it out. No worries. It's not that bad. But sometimes it is that bad, and the more they keep it inside, the heavier it gets. They become experts at hiding their pain, smiling through the stress, laughing through the heartbreak, but inside, they're hoping, just once, someone would notice, someone would care enough to ask, are you really okay? Sigma males crave real connection, but in today's world, that's rare. Everything is fast, shallow, surface level. People talk but don't listen. They post but don't feel. They swipe but don't bond. For the Sigma male, this world feels fake. It's hard to connect when everyone's wearing a mask, hard to trust when people change with trends, hard to love when loyalty is rare. So what does the Sigma do? He pulls back. He guards his heart. He keeps his circle small or empty, not because he doesn't care, but because he cares too much to waste time on the wrong people. Freedom is everything to the Sigma male. He doesn't want to be controlled, doesn't want to follow orders, doesn't want to live by society's rules. He wants to create his own life on his own terms. But freedom comes with a cost. When you don't follow the crowd, you don't get their support, their comfort, their safety net. You take risks alone, you fall alone, you rebuild alone. There's no one to blame, no one to save you. You're free, but you're fully responsible for everything. And that can be overwhelming, especially when things go wrong. But the Sigma doesn't complain. He just keeps moving forward. Quietly, silently, powerfully. In our loud world, being silent is seen as weak. The Sigma male doesn't shout. He doesn't show off. He doesn't beg for attention. He leads by example. He lets his actions speak. But the world doesn't always reward that. Loud people get noticed. Flashy people get followers. Fake confidence gets claps. The Sigma question mark, he's often overlooked, unseen, underestimated. But he doesn't change. He doesn't fake it to fit in. He stays true to himself. Even if that means walking in the shadows, that takes courage, but it also gets lonely. Sigma males don't pretend. They speak the truth. Even when it's uncomfortable, they don't sugarcoat. They don't lie to protect feelings. They say what they mean. But being too real has a cost. People get offended, they pull away, they say, you're too harsh, you're too serious, you're too intense. So the Sigma learns to say less, to hold back, to protect his truth from people who won't understand it. But that hurts, because he has so much wisdom to share, so much truth to offer. But most people don't want truth, they want comfort. And that's why the Sigma often walks alone, feeling like an outsider, everywhere. Even when he's surrounded by people, the Sigma male can feel like he doesn't belong. Not at the party, not at the job, not even in the family. He's always the one asking deeper questions, always the one thinking differently, always the one who sees what others ignore. That makes him unique, but it also makes him feel like a stranger. He watches the world but rarely feels part of it. He listens but rarely speaks. He supports others but rarely gets support in return. It's not that he hates people, he just doesn't feel seen. So he finds peace in solitude, not because it's perfect, but because it's honest. Sigma males are strong, focused, unbreakable. But sometimes, that strength becomes a mask. They've been strong for so long, they forget how to be vulnerable. They forget how to ask for comfort, how to say, I'm hurting, how to admit, I don't have it all together. They've become so used to carrying others, they don't know how to let someone carry them. And that's dangerous, because behind every strong Sigma is a man who still feels, still dreams, still hurts. But the world forgets that, because all they see is the strength. So here's the truth. Being a Sigma male is powerful, but it's not easy, it's not perfect, it's not without pain. There is a dark side: loneliness, misunderstanding, emotional silence, constant pressure. But inside that darkness, there is also something beautiful. A Sigma male knows himself. He doesn't chase the world, he creates his own. He doesn't fake confidence, he builds it. He doesn't need approval, he walks with purpose. And yes, the road is hard. Yes, the nights are quiet. But his strength, it's real, because it's built through pain, forged in solitude, sharpened by experience. So if you're a Sigma male, or becoming one, remember this: you are rare, you are powerful, you are human. Don't be afraid to feel, to ask for help, to love deeply, because the world needs men like you. Strong enough to stand alone, but wise enough to know even lone wolves need a pack sometimes. Thanks for watching. If this spoke to you, leave a comment, share your story, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful content like this. Until next time, stay strong, stay silent, stay Sigma.